Oh, hey there. I was just perusing some of my favorites from my old LP collection. Did you know that the London Power Company, which built the Battersea Power Station, owned an entire fleet of ships that it used solely to transport coal to its various power plants? One ship in particular, the Francis Flagade, was built in 1938 and at the time was one of the company's largest. In 1942, she was converted to a convoy to be used in World War II, and in 1971, she was sold to owners in Genoa, Italy, who renamed her to the Brick Sesto. She stayed there until after many decades of faithful service. Eventually, she was decommissioned and scrapped in Vado Ligure, Italy. That brings us to the topic at hand. Hi, I'm Garrett Peischer, and welcome to Cooking Show with Garrett. Today, I'll be making a traditional potato Italian pasta dish, gnocchi. Alright, so I've gathered all the ingredients we're going to need today, and as you may be able to tell by the number of ingredients, gnocchi is not a super difficult dish to make, which means that anyone can make it. Unless you were born on January 12th. Do not try to make gnocchi if you were born on January 12th. Any year. Alright, so all you're going to need is 1 pound of russet potatoes, and you can work well, as long as it's 1 pound. 1 room temperature egg, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning optionally, and 1 cup of flour. When it comes to cookware and utensils, cleanliness is key, and we all know that the second and third most important cooking tools you can have are your hands. I'll get to that first one later. Considering everything that has happened over the past 2.5 years, hopefully we're all a little bit more aware of the impact washing our hands can make, especially when you're cooking food for other people. Now that we've got our clean pair of hands, we can go ahead and grab the rest of our equipment, starting with a large work surface. Here I'm using a cutting board, but you can use whatever works for you. We'll be using this to cut and peel the potatoes, and then later mix and knead the dough and cut the gnocchi to size. You'll also need a pot big enough to boil your potatoes inside of, a saucepan and a slotted spoon to cook the gnocchi, bowl, a dough scraper, not necessary, but it really helps for forming the dough and cutting it. If you don't have one, you can just use a knife. A ricer, and I'm not talking about a WRX with $800 rims and a body kit. I'm talking about one of these. It looks like a big, giant garlic press. A fork to texturize the gnocchi, or if you want to go the extra mile, you can use one of these. It's called a pasta board, and this is actually one that I made myself. And last of all, you'll need a gun. Now, time and time again, I find myself using one of these in almost all of my recipes. To me, a gun is one of the most important and versatile things used in cooking. In my opinion, a kitchen really just isn't a kitchen without one. Now that we have ingredients and tools, we can go ahead and start off by boiling our potatoes. You're going to want to put the potatoes into the water first and then turn on the heat to start boiling them, because if you put them into already boiling water, you could damage the skin and that would ruin them for the recipe. Now, how long you cook the potatoes depends on what type they are, how big they are, and how many of them you're cooking. I'm only using 2 small russet potatoes, so I'll want to cook them for about 35 minutes. But if you have a question about how long you want to cook your potatoes, I've made this handy chart here to answer all of your questions. Quinn, what should I put here? I don't want to make this chart.
Talon Ranger 6 RuneScape low-level money making.
Awesome. Now while we wait on those potatoes to boil, I have here a letter that I received from a concerned fan. Thank you, Quinn. You know, it's always nice to receive mail from a fan. There's just something about it that makes me feel accomplished, you know? Except when it's from fucking Charlie. Fuck Charlie.
Garrett, you can't just say his full name. We've been over this a dozen times.
I can't?
No, you can't.
Why not? The censors are just gonna bleep it.
That's not the point. You're just constantly making more work for the editors.
Okay, fine. I won't say his name anymore. God.
Thank you.
His address is 17.
Garrett!
Alright, I know, one strike, whatever. Can I please just read the letter?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That's weird. It's blank. There's nothing on it. Oh! Dear Garrett, why are you filming a self-insert cooking video that you made specifically for the best of 2022? Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of the video historically being a compilation of moments that have happened spontaneously and naturally and are only funny because of that? Well, to answer your question, it's my video. Okay, our potatoes are done, so we can get them out of the water and let them cool down for a little bit. That's weird. This reminds me of Colin. Alright, and then after we've got our potatoes out, we can let them sit for a little while, cool off, and then we can mix together our flour, our salt, and optionally, our Italian seasoning. So just gonna put all this in a bowl and whisk it up. Then after we do this, we can do the same thing with our egg. Just crack it in. Beat it. God damn it, I wasn't done drinking that coffee. Okay, now that we have these other two ingredients, let's get our third one. We've got our potatoes that are cooled down enough to Fuck! Ow! Shit!
You good?
Yeah, let's just let them sit for a minute. Fuck.
Sure you don't need like an ice pack or something?
Yeah, I'll just put it in like some cold water. After the potatoes are cool enough that you can touch them, you can peel them, and what's nice about boiling them is that they're so soft you can kind of just rip it off with your bare hands. Cut them up so that they fit nicely in your ricer, which isn't necessary, but I find it helps the next step easier, which is then to rice the potatoes into a bowl as we end up with this nice potato fluff. Now that we have our flour, salt, Italian seasoning, our rice potato, and our beaten egg, we can start mixing it all together to make the dough. So first you want to put the flour down, just in a small little area like that. Put the potato on top. And then you're going to want to kind of make a little hole in the middle for the egg to go inside of. Just like that. Now you can start kind of just incorporating it, mixing it together. Just like that. And doing this for long enough, you'll see that it will start to get a good consistency, and you want it to basically get to the point where it's just not sticking to your hands anymore. And of course, use flour when necessary to make sure it's not sticking too much. Alright, now we've got a good piece of dough. We can split it up into some smaller workable pieces. I'll just set the extra ones aside for right now. Next, you're going to want to get a decent amount of flour because we are going to be rolling these out. You want them to be relatively thin because they'll grow a decent amount in size when you cook them. So I would say anywhere from half, maybe even just a little bit under a half an inch thick to 3/4, anyway there is fine. So I'm just gonna roll these out. So after we've rolled out our gnocchi, we can make pieces about this wide. You can really have them any size you want, but I prefer smaller pieces like this. All right, now here comes the fun part. You want to take the gnocchi, roll it out a little bit to get rid of that pillow shape, or you can keep it if you want. There isn't really a right or wrong way. Flour up your pasta board. And if you don't have one, I'll get to the fork in just a minute. Get some of the excess off there, and then just roll it across. And you can see it makes that nice little indentation shape. Just keep doing that. And if you're doing it with a fork, you want to roll it across the back of the tines. And just when you get to the end, you want to push your thumb in a little bit, right there. You can make kind of a little bit of a sauce pocket here. That's what they called me in high school. And after all of our gnocchi is indented, we can let it rest for 20 minutes.
Cut!
Oh, thank fucking God. How much time do we have left today? What do we have to do?
We still have to boil the water, cook it, make the sauce, plate it. We also have a production meeting at 2, and we have to get you on a sound stage, record a few more lines at 6.
We have tequila?
No? Why would we have tequila on set? This is a cooking show.
I'm gonna look for some. Oh.
Where the hell did you get that?
Found it.
Please just put it away before our next scene.
Okay, cut. All right, now that you've got a boiling pan of water that you prepared 15 minutes ago and lightly salted, you can go ahead and dump all our gnocchi into it to cook them. You'll know when they're done cooking after about 1 to 2 minutes, or when they're floating to the surface of the water. All right, now that we're all done here and these are all cooked up and plated up, let's have Quinn come and give it a taste.
Thank you, Garrett.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a try.
Wow, this one's long.
Yeah, that one's special. That's just not very good, huh?
How does it taste like vinegar? I spent 4 hours here filming it with you. I watched every step, and you didn't put vinegar in it.
We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
Fix what in post?
The taste. We'll just make it taste better.
What?
Just make it taste better in post.
So you're telling me that retroactively we're gonna send this footage to the editors, and they're gonna make it taste better now?
It's the power movie magic, baby.
Fuck this shit. I am so done. I spent all day doing this.
Hey. What do you know? It's not bad. Well. I think we're done here. So after this, I want to get a over-the-shoulder shot. What should I don't want to make this chart. What should I put here?
Talon Ranger 6 RuneScape money making methods.
What?
Yeah.
This one's for Mike and Brian. Okay, perfect. I think we're done here. That was fucking perfect. Okay, now oh. Where did it go? Where did it go?
What are you looking for?
I I dropped it. Where did it? Okay, I actually don't know where it went.
What are you looking for?
The post-it note. That's a blooper.
Egg in a little bowl.
Alright, so I'm gonna be.
There's an egg in a little bowl.
What do I do now?
I don't know, go change.
I'm gonna drip all the way to my room.
What?
I'm gonna drip all the way to my
You
room.
need a towel?
Yeah, there should be one in that cabinet behind you.
This one?
Yeah, on the left, on the bottom. There should be. Oh god damn it! Are there not any on the lower rack?
There's no. There's dish towels.
Okay, cut. Oh god, that was disgusting.
There's a vial. Oh my god. I can't believe you get a straight face.
Oh, it's got like a. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but it's got like a maple aftertaste. It's so. I don't think I've ever had that much syrup before.
Dude, that. Yeah.
Did I spill any? God.